Good evening. My name is Robert, and I try things. On Sundays, I try whatever I feel like trying, which I am unsure of today. Let me change the music because the indie pop. Nope, that's not what I need. Nope, give me the chill step. There we go. I don't need Discover Weekly. I don't need copyright hits on my channel. Yeah, I'm unsure on what I want to do tonight because I had been playing Cube, which is fine. It's an okay puzzler, but I kind of got bored with it. I'm probably within an hour or two of finishing it, but yeah, just not excited to play it anymore. So my first instinct is to go ahead and spin the wheel, but then there's also the opportunity for doing this. Bring this over here. The Harbinger rover, which is actually the Curiosity rover. They just can't call it Curiosity because they don't have agreements with NASA. This is very much a Chinese company. This was shipped from mainland China, according to the tracking information. But it's definitely the Curiosity rover, even though they call it Harbinger. But it is this rover. There we go. Hold on. And so it's like one of those laser cut 3D thingies, and I got it because the second most popular video on my channel was my crappy, very disjointed time-lapse video of the assembly of a different rocker piece. The let's see, can you see this? Just barely, right behind me, this marble night city, they called it. You know, randomly halfway blew up. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll get a different rocker 3D laser cut 3D thing and assemble that, and we'll see how that video does on YouTube. See what happens there. I don't think I'm gonna actually do that tonight. I kind of want to do it midweek, but I don't have like a good time frame in place for when I want to do that, how soon I want to do that. So we'll see. I don't know. For now, top choice is spin the wheel. So we'll see what happens there. But hey, happy Sunday, good evening. How was everyone's weekend? We just had Chinese delivery, takeout, whatever you want to call it. We didn't take it out, it was delivered to us, so you can't really call it takeout. Open sesame, there it is. Got the fortune cookie open. I got teriyaki chicken and some spicy salmon sushi. And then, let's see, my fortune cookie says, how about another fortune? Secondfortune.com. That is not actually my fortune. My fortune says, one should count each day a separate life. AKA, live each day on its own. Don't worry about the past or the future. That is wonderful in theory and principle. In practice, very difficult, if not impossible. Welcome back, Rubenski. I just crunched down on half of a fortune cookie. How's your weekend going? What'd you do for dinner? You said you just landed? Landed where from where? And yes, I did just chomp down on the entire half of the cookie. I don't like break off pieces. Or I do sometimes. But lately I've just been eating the whole thing. Okay, have fun with Duck and Oreo. You were in St. Kitts, landed back home in Miami. No idea where St. Kitts is. I gotta look that up. St. Kitts is 230 miles southeast of Puerto Rico. Okay, so it's in like the Caribbean. Okay. It's like near St. Croix, St. Croix. It's part of the... So there's Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, Guadalupe, Dominica, the Virgin Islands. Okay, so it's actually not... Okay, British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands. Didn't realize that was so close. Okay, there's Puerto Rico. There's Dominican Republic and Haiti. There's Cuba. Wow, you were way down there. Okay. This place is tiny. Holy crap. A volcanic island in the middle of nowhere. Well, I mean, middle of nowhere is like... Not really. It's in, you know, the Caribbean kind of mega archipelago. Middle of nowhere would be like out here or whatever this is. These Spanish islands. What are these even called? Like this group of islands. There's got to be a name for it. Whatever. Part of Spain, I guess. Or like, where the heck is Point Nemo? Give me Point Nemo. No, I don't want... Yeah, Point Nemo is not in Australia, but it's like... It's in the middle of the Pacific. It's the farthest point from any land. It's like somewhere around here. Nevis is where Alexander Hamilton is from. You mean was? Sorry. I just realized you can't see what I'm looking at, hardly. Only partially. So this would be... Okay, so this is Nevis, and then this is St. Kitts. Gotcha. Anyway, what were you doing there? I'm assuming you were having a good time. I'm assuming that was an enjoyable place. Those islands were Cape Verde, and you want to go so badly? These Spanish islands up here in the Atlantic? But they're in the Atlantic. They're not even warm, are they? I don't know. It's kind of funny because they're like directly out from Portugal rather than Spain, but those are definitely Spanish names. Well, you know what? Could be wrong. Do is not so much a Spanish term, and there aren't a lot of the s sounds. So these actually might be Portuguese. Yes, these are probably Portuguese. Okay, I feel dumb now. You were just laying on the beach at a hotel? God. Oh, please, please, just take me. Just let me do that. That would be my ideal life forever. Just laying on the beach, being warm. That's all I want to do with my life. So, like, my top 10 places to travel, or top, like, maybe 3 or 4. There's Japan. And then, like, I'd like to travel to, I guess, the east coast of Australia. And then the Caribbean, like Italy, Greece, Monaco. I guess that's technically France. Spain wouldn't be too bad. And then Hawaii, obviously. Wherever the heck it is. I know it's out here. There it is. Wait, is it really that far south? I thought it was like way more north like this. I'm more than invited next time you go. You burnt like 80% of your hotel and airline miles to go. Well, yeah, but like you already had those miles. That like in girl math, that didn't cost you anything. That was free. Just need to get to Miami and then the rest would be covered by points. Shit, I would drive to Miami. Need a passport? I do need to get a passport. Again, my passport expired, let's see. 4 years ago. I need to get a new passport. But no, I didn't realize Hawaii was that far south. I could have sworn it was almost like directly west of like LA. But, you know, that's my own ignorance there. Hi, Lily. Exclamation mark kitty in chat to keep track of the number of times the cats have interrupted the stream. Yeah, like I knew, like in my head somewhere that Hawaii was just about on the equator, where is Ecuador? There it is. Okay, so it's actually farther from the equator than I thought it was, but closer to the equator than most of the states. In fact, I think probably the northernmost point of Hawaii is farther south than the southernmost point of Florida. So all of Hawaii is closer to the equator than the continental US, but so that's not even a thing. I don't know what that even matters. I don't know. There's Osaka, Tokyo, Sapporo. I want to go to, that's Taiwan. I want to go to Nagasaki. Where is Okinawa? Because Okinawa used to be kind of semi-independent or fighting for their independence from the mainland of Japan, is my understanding. There it is. Oh, wow. Oh, shit, Okinawa is tiny. Let's see, where's my scale? Okay, so roughly an inch is 5 miles, so it's maybe 50, 60 miles long. Next trip, let's see, Alaska is the most north, west, and eastern state. How is it the most eastern? How is Alaska the most eastern? Next trip is probably Costa Rica to do the same. A touch cheaper. I don't know. I want to go to Puerto Rico. I would like to go to Puerto Rico because technically it's a U.S. territory. Okay, depending on the map. Okay. But yeah, like technically outside of certain projections, no, it is not the most eastern. But if you cut the word, gosh, I have the hiccups. I don't know, man. There's Tokyo. There's Osaka. There's Hiroshima. I guess, like, okay, I've been curious in the last couple of weeks. People still live in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Or people live there now? Things have gotten cleaned up? Like, I don't know, man. I'm showing my ignorance here. Also, I'm mildly inebriated / buzzed. I don't know. Hey, hydrate or dehydrate. I'm almost out of water. I'm going to need to get some more water soon. But yeah, in the next couple of years, I would like to leave the continental United States and not go to Alaska. Screw Alaska. It's too cold. No thanks. All of it is too cold. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. How far out do we go? And this is still America. Okay, so that's Russia. This is uninhabited. Alvike Island. Is this still the US? Okay, so if we go all the way to the southernmost point of, whoa shit, how did that happen? Of the archipelago in Alaska. This is still farther north. God, why is it scrolling that way? Farther north than anywhere in the contiguous 48. And I'm already farther north than I wanted to be. So yeah, Alaska is too far north. Alaska is cold. No thanks. I'll just go to Miami. That's what I'll do. I would just come down here to Miami and hang out with Rubinsky. Not really. I don't want to go to Miami. I want to go to Pensacola. Like, man, that was the perfect place to live. We used to live... Okay, so here's Interstate 10. Here's Highway 29. Up here is, what, 10 Mile Road. Where is that exactly? Let's see. Let's try to figure out where exactly we lived. So here's Interstate 10. That's Ensley. M-Strand sounds familiar. Okay, there's Walmart. Oh, this is 10 Mile / 90. Okay. And then this is Palafox. And then, oh no, this is 10 Mile. I am so far off. Okay, here's Ashton Brosnahan. And then this is Millbrook Drive. We were right here. We were right here. If I visit Pensacola, let you know to drive from Miami like 10 hours away? No, I wouldn't make you do that. I wouldn't make you do that. No, yeah, we were right here. We were like literally abutted to the Ashton Brosnahan Park here. So like Millbrook used to be just this section, and then they added on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 houses here. Paige was the first one to buy in this new section of Millbrook here. You have friends in Tallahassee, you have a place to stay, and people to visit. How far away is Tallahassee? Let's see. That's still several hours. No, next time we visit Florida, we're actually more likely to be on the Jacksonville side in, where exactly? Where is, it's Saint something. That's Georgia. There's the St. Johns River. Where do they live now? St. Augustine, that's the one. Yep, St. Augustine. Let's go there. Okay, oh, it's right here. Okay, so we have friends that live here, and they actually let us stay with them for our anniversary 2 years ago. And it was wonderful. It was great. And so this is probably closer to you. Yeah, if you this is way closer to Miami, but that's still 8 or 9 hours. Oh shit, that's only 4.5 hours. Oh, because it's all interstate, straight down. It's 95 all the way down. Okay. Erlen wants to go back to New Orleans. Like, there are worse places than New Orleans, Erlen, but there are better places than New Orleans. New Orleans is great for partying and food. I haven't been to the aquarium in New Orleans, but I would kind of say that maybe there are better aquariums in other places as well. But New Orleans is more, like I said, partying and food. That's most of what you do in New Orleans, and I guess ghost tours. Yeah, food, it is the most important thing. And like, if you're going anywhere in the entire United States of America, specifically just for food, yes, New Orleans would be your destination. New Orleans is the best food in the country, and I will honestly die on that hill. I will. What happened to my wrist is I did something wrong. I can't identify the exact moment it happens, but my wrist didn't like something that I did during my workout for chest on Wednesday. So I've been wearing this since then to immobilize my wrist and help it heal, and hopefully it'll be okay by the time I go back for chest on Wednesday. Your dad spent a bunch of time in New Orleans, and that's where he learned how to cook. Want to go to New Orleans for beignets? They're kind of overrated, but the famous place to get them is fast enough that you don't feel like you waited too long for the quality of what they are. They're good, and I guess, yeah, go ahead and experience them, but like, if you don't feel like that's your regret on your deathbed. Don't do that. Beignets are your 5th favorite dessert? Please tell me about number 1, 2, 3, and 4, please. Because Rubinsky apparently has similar tastes to me, and I want to hear about that. While you're doing that, I'm going to look up the recipe for this gratin that I made last week that I am not remaking this week. Voting ad muted me instead of taking over the whole screen. Interesting. What am I looking for? Right. Okay, in order, you got cheesecake, lava cake, croissants. Croissants are technically just bread. Do you mean like pain au chocolat? Chocolate snow cookies, you think the name is? I gotta look that up. Cheesecake is second on my list. First is like complicated ice creams with chunks in them. I love ice cream. Okay, interesting. Snowy chocolate cookies. So it's basically chocolate cookies with a coating of confectioner's sugar. Interesting. You weren't counting ice cream? Why weren't you counting ice cream? Like, that is the dessert, at least to me. Erin likes hot fudgy brownies with good vanilla ice cream on top. I was reading thing about how vanilla is seen as quote unquote boring, even though historically until the last 50 or so years, so like for like, you know, 10,000 plus years, it was really, really, really difficult and expensive to make and get and have and make things out of. And now we treat it as like the boring flavor. Like what decadence we live in that vanilla is boring. I have ice cream all the time too. That's why I'm like 40 pounds heavier than I want to be. Maybe 30. I don't know. Then they figured out how to make the flavor in a lab. Like there's that. And well, okay, so Erlen, probably what you're thinking of is vanillin, which actually comes from wood processing. It's a compound in wood and pulp and actually even like wine and bourbon making that is a flavor compound that tastes a whole bunch like vanillin, but it comes out of wood rather than vanilla beans. And that's the majority of what vanilla flavor is in modernity. But even just like the mass farming of vanilla trees and beans and throwing that into alcohol and extracting that essence, that flavor, is way cheaper than it ever has been. Anyway, I made this week, and we invited a friend over to have some, and we added some chopped bacon to it, and it is and it's so easy too. Like you don't even have to cook the potatoes. You just throw them in the casserole dish. Then you brown your leeks. You chop up your leeks small and you brown them. And then you scatter the leeks over the top of the potatoes. Laphroaig, okay, Rubinsky, that's where we're going to be different because I don't care for Scotch. I don't like the peaty, smoky flavor of Scotch. I don't like feeling like I'm licking a wet 2x. Why is my tongue blue? Why is my tongue blue? It does match my shirt. Why is my tongue blue? What did I eat that was anywhere near blue? I had Chinese food, and I had whiskey, and before that I had some cheese and a date, and why is my tongue blue? I'm glad you're enjoying the Laphroaig, Rubinsky. I just don't care for Scotch. Licking a wet 2x4 is not my thing. That's just not what I enjoy. I like caramel and spice and whatever. So Rubinsky likes fruity cocktail first, then craft beer, then bourbon, then plain clear spirits, then regular beer. I would swap regular beer and plain spirits, but other than that, yeah, I would agree with that. Rubinsky, we need to hang out. Okay, I'm coming to Miami. Why is my tongue blue? Oh, I ate gummy sharks. I had 2 gummy sharks right before I started stream. The BF cannot have tequila. Neither can I. It's bad for me. It's bad for my mental health. It's bad for everybody around me. I'm in Kansas. I am like 3 states west of Iowa, or 2 states. Right? Hold on. My geography has failed me recently. Okay, Ohio, Illinois, Iowa. Okay, I am 2 states southwest of Iowa, depending on... Boyfriend's allergic to agave? Okay, so it's not that, like, tequila goes straight to his head or whatever, like me. He just can't have agave. Gotcha. Yeah, depending on where you are in Iowa, the closest you could possibly be is, like, here, and that's... Where is this? Hamburg. Let's get directions from Topeka, Kansas. That's still 2 hours away. Oh, that's almost directly north on 75, though. We'll be in Dallas for a day in February. Yeah, no. That like, okay. I do not in any way encourage people to come visit us. I don't, because we are literally the only reason anybody would want to come to Topeka, Kansas. Like yeah. If you weren't born in Topeka or going to school in Topeka or got a job that moved you to Topeka, there's no reason to be here. None. You want to get to every state? Like Kansas, like this entire belt here from North Dakota all the way down to Oklahoma, most of New Mexico, good bit of Colorado, all of Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, just going through counts because you're not going to encounter anything more or less either way. And then actually good parts of Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Indiana, Ohio, all of that. Just through is fine. Mission to get to all the national parks. That's cool. Like, that would be nice if it happened to me. You've been to 16 national parks? I've been to maybe... Hold on. Wait a minute. How many national parks are there? It says there are 90 in this area. I don't think that's necessarily a feasible thing to do. Wait, does this Smithsonian Institutes and the Lincoln, all of that counts as individual national parks? Did a drive up the East Coast and California with the Utah area. It was pretty easy. Erilyn used to visit the square from Canada to Utah to Missouri to Canada all the time. Canada, Utah, Missouri, and then back to Canada. That's more of like a very elongated triangle. Just the main ones. Yeah, this is not a accurate representation. Okay. 400 national parks. I don't know, man. That seems like a lot. Of course, there aren't going to be any national parks in Canada. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot in DC, apparently. I found out today that all of the Smithsonian museums are free. There's no admission to the Smithsonian's or the DC Zoo. Look at me, Erilyn, hydrating, not dehydrating. 63 or 4 national parks. I guess that depends on who you ask or what counts as a park. There are parks in Hawaii. I know that much. Let's see. I've been to the Pearl Harbor Memorial. Okay, so that counts as one. Have I been to Honolulu National Historic Site? Probably not. Hawaii is expensive. Yes, that is correct. Oh, does it count the one in South Carolina or not? Okay. Park is closed to the public. That's sad. Let's see. Is this near to Waimalu? There's Pearl Harbor. Where I'm relating everything to like Waikiki. Where is Waikiki? This is Oahu, right? Okay, no, okay. So like here's Diamond.
I want the booty, Lord, what a booty.
You want Park. Historic site isn't national park. Gotcha. From Toronto, like look, Erilyn, look. Canada is Canada, okay? Wait, what do you mean I went from Toronto down? Isn't Toronto West Coast? What happened here? Hold on. I went from like here-ish. That's Ontario. Oh, okay. I was getting it backwards. Sorry. Vancouver is West Coast. Thanks, Vancouver. Yes. That's Vancouver. I like how I said Butnada and you butted from Toronto down. Now, okay, so then where she lives in British Columbia. Okay. Okay, so you would go from British Columbia to Utah over to Missouri. And then to Saskatchewan. And then back over to BC. Okay. I don't know. Look. I'm an American, all right? Don't expect me to know geography, especially not outside of my own country. I will play the American card occasionally. Alberta to Utah to Missouri to Saskatchewan. Okay, it's square-ish. Where is Alberta? Alberta is not a province, it's a city, right? Okay, oh no, it is a province. So you would go from Alberta to Utah to Missouri to Saskatchewan. That's okay. That technically kind of has 4 sides. Technically, it's a quadrilateral. Yeah, there it is. There are more map points in Canada than I ever would have expected. There are people here, theoretically. I'm sorry. I just make fun of Canada being giant and empty. Like, you live in basically, you know, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Vancouver, Quebec, Winnipeg, or not. Like, that's it. There's a higher population in California than in all of Canada. Gotcha. Yeah, see, no, there's nobody in Canada, even though it's like roughly the same physical area. Probably more, actually. Oh, wait, yeah, the Northwest Territories and Yukon and Nunavut. Is this part of Canada? Yes. Okay, no, it's a much larger area. And yeah, one state has more people. And then we've got Greenland and Iceland, who pulled that bait and switch. Mostly inhabitable. Like, yeah, you could live there if you're willing to fight for it. Uninhabitable. Okay, so you can't live there even if you fight for it. Gotcha. Okay, so I've read the term Hudson Bay a lot. Nah, just stop. I did not realize that it was fucking gigantic. What happened here? Was this a meteor? Most of the landmass of Canada is too freaking cold, aka anything north of about here, right? Pretty much anything north of about here, and that lets me know that people in Alaska are even nutser. What's scarier, Californias, or Florida? Floridas, honestly, can't lie. Was there a meteor in the Hudson Bay? Let's see. What does that even mean? The Nastapoka Arc. Oh, okay, so this circular section here. So then where did the rest of this come from? The Nastapoka Arc is a distinctly arcuate segment of the coastline of the southeastern shore of the Hudson Bay in Quebec, Canada that extends from blah, 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 blah. Prominent, near-perfect circular arc covering more than 160 degrees of a 450-kilometer diameter circle. While the circular shape has led to suggestions that it represents an impact crater, there's no evidence for this hypothesis. It's thought to have been formed a result of lithospheric flexure during the Trans-Hudson orogeny. Trans-Hudson orogeny. What the fuck is an orogeny? It's a mountain building event. Okay. You know what? This is getting too much into geology that I don't actually care about. Most of the Alaskans live on or near the coast. I mean, yeah, that's historically where people live, is on coasts or on rivers. Historically. Because, you know, weather regulation and travel and trade. Mostly the travel and trade. I don't know why I'm going over here. My brother-in-law is currently in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE. He sent a picture from his hotel balcony that's kind of nuts. He is currently stationed in... Holy shit, he is far from home right now. He's currently stationed in Morocco.
I like the booty, oh what a booty.
Tell him to be careful. Like, he's always careful. That's literally his job, is being careful. He's in the FAO, he's a foreign area officer for the army. So like that's literally his job, is to be careful in the Arabic speaking part of the world. Yeah, weather near coast is warmer because, like I said, the weather. What did I call it? What did I call it? I don't know. The way that water affects weather. Schwartz what? The weather Schwartz? What? I don't know. FAO Schwartz. Gotcha. No. Foreign area officer. He speaks Arabic professionally for the army. He speaks specifically Egyptian Arabic professionally for the army. Which, let's see, Abu Dhabi is safe as long as you toe the line. A friend of your brother, who's also a travel agent, got 16 days in jail for buying a points ticket. Is that like a gambling thing, like a lottery thing? He is there like on official duty. He's there for the army, so he's probably not going to do anything crazy. Not the friend, the client of the friend. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, Brian is here for work, so that's even more strict of a line he's gonna toe. He's fine. Good night, Erilyn. Rest well. Tell the boyfriend we said hi. You used your points to buy a ticket, and you buy. Oh, okay. Use your like airline points to buy like a plane ticket, and then they buy the plane ticket from you. Gotcha. Yeah. That's just mildly unethical, kind of no matter where you go, and I guess UAE is, what's the word? Strict about that. Emirates Airline is partially owned by the government. Gotcha. Hi, James. Exclamation mark kitty in chat to count the number of times the cats have interrupted the stream. This is James. He's 8.5. He's very large. We weighed him Friday, and he was 15 pounds. Lily was 12.5, and I believe Charlie was 11.5 when we weighed him a couple of months ago at the vet. And they were only at the vet for like yearly checkup and vaccines. Nothing was going on. It's just routine stuff. James is a large boy, though. We love James. I love James, and he loves me. Let's see. Come this way. I just, picked him up. And he's more or less fine. You okay, bud? I love my James, buddy. So what were we talking about? Right, the UAE, Qatar. My brother was in Oman for a while. And then Iraq. So I'm learning, ads, by the way, I am learning that the majority of the world pronounces R's very differently than English. Either US or Canada or UK or Australia or anything. Soft R's where you like toward the back of your mouth, very uncommon in the world in other languages. In most of the world, R's are with the tip of the tongue against the roof of the mouth, right behind your teeth. So Puerto Rico, the Spanish pronunciation of R, and then you've got Algeria. I'm sure they would pronounce that with that kind of R. Morocco. Let's see, what do we got? Iran, Iraq. Almost everywhere in the world pronounces R that way. English speakers are the weird ones as far as R pronunciation is concerned. Not there's anything bad about that. It's just, different and abnormal from the rest of the world. I wonder, I'm sure there is record and paperwork and treaties and whatever of why, like, Toronto and Mississauga and all of this is part of Canada and not the US, or why Canada doesn't just extend down, around the Great Lakes either. I'm sure there are treaties and things explaining that. Does anybody live in Newfoundland? Like, I'm sure over here on the coast. Let's look at... Yeah, Mary's Harbor here. What's the population, I wonder? The Battle Harbor Historic Properties. These little seaside huts just to protect you from the cold. I'm sorry. The War of 1812 is why the border is that way? My history, look, history was my worst subject in school. I hated it because it was so much rote memorization. Not entirely War of 1812. Okay. Yeah, okay, so then also a question of why the border isn't along this river, which presumably is the Hudson. What river is this? What is this river? Oh, so the St. Lawrence River. Why isn't the border along this river? And yeah, okay, it goes around Montreal / through Montreal, but this one has a different name. Marked by the 46th parallel. That would be... Well, I guess this is roughly the 48th parallel. I don't know. Rubinsky, I mostly don't actually care. I just know it's there and, you know, it's funny. Is there a passage between Superior and Huron here? Is there a water passage? There is. Okay. So, okay, how was Hudson Bay formed? Just curious. A depression in the Canadian Shield formed during the Pleistocene epoch by the weight of the continental ice sheet. As the ice retreated, the region was flooded by the sea. So it was basically like ice and it went... Okay. Okay then. I saw a post recently in the last couple of weeks where someone said, why can't we have a snow day that lasts 100,000 years? And then they responded, oh, people are telling me what I want is another ice age. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Which I very much do not want. What are all these marked locations? What is this here? That is not Abu Dhabi. What did oh, this is a parking lot near the beginning or at the beginning of the turnpike over toward Kansas City. That is mildly difficult to figure out exactly where it is. You have to come from the Beltway around Topeka and then get off and come this way. And then you can, from here, go this way onto the turnpike. But if you go from the freeway onto the turnpike, you can't turn back around and get to here because right here is where the toll plaza is. Hydrate or dihydrate. If I want to look up something, look up Triple Divide Peak in Montana. Splits 3 continental water... Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. What's it called? Triple... There's one in California too? Okay. So from this point, rivers are either going to flow north, east, or west, or excuse me, west or east is what you're telling me? Very technically, from the top, you can pee into 3 oceans. No, you can't. No, you can't. Wait, no, I guess you would be the Arctic Ocean up here. Never mind. Wrong. I was wrong. I admit that. So from here, you could theoretically, technically pee into the Arctic, Pacific, and Atlantic. That's funny. But there are actually not really any waterways that originate here except for this one that heads north. Do you want to go here? Sure, knock yourself out. I guess that's a reason to go to Montana. Why else would you go? I'm sorry. I hate on the Midwest because there's nothing here. Glacier National Park. Okay. There's a Glasgow in Montana. Okay. Where is the Glacier National Park? Oh, it's like right near there. Okay. You've yet to get to a Tim Hortons? Like, I can't make fun of you for wanting to go and do and experience these things because it's something to do and experience, and it's what you want to do with your life, and you're going to enjoy it. And so, like, I can't say anything about that. Just me personally, I don't agree with, like, that would be an enjoyable thing to do. What is this over in Kansas City? Julep. Why did I mark it with that kind of marker? I do like Julep a lot. It's a very, very nice whiskey bar. Okay, take off the second very, but it is a... What? It's permanently closed? Paige, Julep is closed. I guess my guess is that, what's it called? COVID killed them. Sure, that's pretty, but you know what this communicates to me? You know what all of this communicates to me? Cold. There is snow in the sun. That water being so dark blue, that's cold. The sheer cliff faces on the mountains that were carved by glaciers, cold. Go in the summer to Montana. I know there are other places I would very much rather be in the summer. Also, no matter what time of year it is, north of the Mason-Dixon line, there's more or less no such thing as naturally occurring warm water. And I want to swim. So, no thanks. Like I've said before, I am already farther north than I want to be. Okay, I'm in Topeka. This is already farther north than I want to be. Like, where is the Mason-Dixon line anyway? Delaware. Okay, wow, that is way farther north than I thought it was. Wow, never mind. I need to hike Mount Acatenango. Acatenango. It's a volcanic mountain in Guatemala. Why do I need to hike that? Dog. You summit at sunrise. You submit at sunrise and watch a volcano erupt all night. So it's an active volcano. Interesting. I don't see any lava pictures here. Oh yeah, totally send me lava pics. They opened a 4x4 path, so it's not even difficult. Yeah, if you know how to ride a 4x4, which I guess is not that hard to learn. The very first time I was on one, I over-revved it and popped the clutch and pulled a wheelie. And did not even stall it, actually. It continued after that. I didn't stall it, but I did pop an unintended wheelie. Oh, hey, there's smoke, pyroclastic smoke. Would I rather a 7,000 foot elevation gain hike starting at 7,000 feet? Like, I've never been that high in my life. The highest I've been is I lived in Denver for a couple of months. And I did not climb any of the 14ers while I was there or anything like that. So I don't know how well I would handle that. I'm in fair shape, but I would probably struggle pretty hard there. Tegucigalpa, I For some reason, thought that was in Mexico. There probably is a Tegucigalpa in Mexico. Didn't realize Mexico City was so far south. I guess most of this is Chihuahua Desert. You struggled so badly. I don't know how I would fare very high. The last hike I went on, the others in the hike group were park rangers and Ironman runners. You were last. That's unfortunate. Let's see. The last hike I went on of any kind of altitude was... I think I hiked Mount Baldy in California, which I'm not even sure that's the real name of it. Yeah, no, that's a thing. Okay, maybe I hiked part of Mount San Antonio? I don't know. Not very high. No, I don't remember it being so deserty. That's 10,000 feet. It's the highest peak in the San Gabriel Mountains. I guess that's not awful. I'm pretty sure I made it to the peak of that. Ran down the mountain and went straight to a wedding. And you didn't pass out in your duds? Wait. Hold on. Wait, what's the difference here? Mount Baldy City, California, has an elevation of 1,200 meters, which is 4,200 feet. But the peak is 10,000. So where did I go? This was Boy Scouts, okay? This was over 20 years ago. Alcohol was the only reason you didn't sleep. That's counterintuitive, because alcohol is a depressant. Alcohol should have put you to sleep. But it does open up a lot of people's inhibitions. Actually, it opens up everybody's inhibitions, and for a lot of people, that is to be more outgoing. And that's probably you and me both. I want to try a snack. Should I try the grapefruit potato straws or the crunchy, chunky peanut butter Kit Kats? And while you weren't a scout for long, you missed it. I think it was like 2 years I was a scout. I made it to first class, and that's what Lord Baden-Powell wanted of every scout. So I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, cool, I'm done. I'm gonna start a new poll. There we go. We have 1 minute to decide whether I'm going to eat the grapefruit potato straws or the chunky peanut butter Kit Kats. And while we do that, I'm going to talk about this potato leek gratin. It's easy. So you get a mandolin and you slice your potatoes about 1/8 of an inch thick, and you toss those in salt and pepper, throw them in your casserole dish. And then you brown your chopped leeks in butter, toss those on top of the potatoes, and then you heat up some heavy cream, mix in salt and pepper and a tiny bit of nutmeg, and I mixed in a bunch of Gruyere cheese and melted that into the cream, and then you pour that over the potatoes and leeks, and then you top that with more Gruyere, and then you bake it, and it's easy and it's good. Oh, and then I also mixed in bacon into the sauce, and it was and a bay leaf. A bay leaf is important, and it was really, really good. And we had a friend over for dinner, and we didn't have hardly any leftovers because it was so good. I'm gonna put this link into the chat. This is the exact recipe I used. Your mileage may vary with various ad blockers about whether you can actually get to the recipe. If you need the text of it, let me know, and I can like DM that to people. Okay, the poll ended. Nobody voted, but Rubinsky says the Kit Kat sounds better, so we'll try that. Making that this weekend. Yeah, it's easy. It's so easy. Okay. Chunky peanut butter Kit Kat. It's large. This is bigger than your regular Kit Kat. Ooh, excuse me. 222 kilocalories per bar. So this is apparently not American made because we don't measure things in kilocalories. Oh man, I didn't know Kit Kat was Nestle. I dislike Nestle because they're evil. And so I don't buy their product if I can, but apparently Kit Kat is Nestle. I didn't know that. It didn't show you the poll. That's fine. You were the only vote, and you voted Kit Kat, so we'll give that a try. So it's in sections. We've got, you know, the section markers here. So I'll break that off. And yeah, let's give that a try. We've got wafers and mlem. I licked my finger. I did. Okay. It smells like a Reese's cup, kinda. I'm not the biggest fan of chunky peanut butter, but there's not enough peanut butter really in there. There's a layer on top. That's it, actually. So like, there's chocolate wafer, and then a layer of peanut butter. So it can't be that chunky. So I don't expect to hate this. Chocolate bars are the only way you like chunky? I don't even like it then. But yeah, not really any chunks so far. It's just like a big Kit Kat with some peanut butter in it. Yeah, this is just like king size Kit Kat bar with peanut butter. Okay, so this is the contact information is for Nestle Ireland. I'm not even sure the grapefruit thing is a dessert. Hold on. This is Chinese, if I'm seeing the script correctly. There are no hiragana, so it's not Japanese. And I definitely recognize the style of kanji versus things like Thai or whatever, or Korean especially. So I'm pretty sure this is Chinese. And it's, you know, potato straws, and then it's got grapefruit all over everything. So yeah, it's grapefruit potato straws. I'm not sure that that's supposed to be a dessert. Hey, hydrate or dihydrate. This is more hydrate or dihydrate messages than I remember receiving in the last month per stream. It sounds sketchy. Like, I don't know if you can tell via the camera, but it appears that the grapefruit flavoring is like dusted onto the potato straws. Ads, by the way. Been an hour? No, I don't think it's. I mean, I've streamed for an hour, and Stream Elements is supposed to go off every 15 minutes telling me about that, but it doesn't normally do that. So the number one ingredient is sugar, and the second ingredient is ground roasted peanuts at 12%. So how much of this is sugar? Because everything else is going to be less than 12%. So that's a lot. I'm going to save the last section for Paige, but I will eat some more of this. Do I add oil to my pasta? I've learned that it doesn't do anything. Especially through an episode of Good Eats. If you haven't watched Good Eats, it's Alton Brown. He's a chef / food scientist. And he actually experimented and found out that when you add oil to the water, making your pasta, when you pour off the water and pull out the pasta and everything, and then you measure how much water and how much oil, you get basically the exact same amount of oil that you put in back out. So none of it sticks to the pasta. So it doesn't keep it from sticking to each other. So there's no points in putting oil in the cooking water when you're making pasta. Now, afterward, if you've got leftover pasta you're putting in a container, definitely spray that shit with like nonstick spray or whatever. I have canola oil spray, and it'll help it keep it from sticking together. But while it's cooking, no point. Doesn't do anything. You do just a touch of oil after draining the pasta. That's better at keeping them from sticking than oil in the water, because oil and water don't mix. And it's not going to stick to the pasta because the pasta is, putting off all the starch. Yeah. I am almost out of water. I'm going to grab a soda, even though I don't have a koozie. I am thirsty, which means I'm dehydrated. By the time you're thirsty, it's already too late. You are dehydrated. Is the rule of thumb, I think. But yeah, we watched 6 or 8 seasons of Good Eats. Let me look at Plex here. Or did we watch all of them? Okay, we watched 7 and most of 8 seasons of Good Eats. And like I said, he's part chef, part food scientist, part absolute dork. He is a giant dork. Oh, hold on. No, I was wrong. Okay, so we watched almost all of the shows. Somehow we skipped most of season 13 and part of season 8, but the rest of it is all watched. Huh. Okay. Yeah, he's a total dork. He loves cooking, and he loves figuring out and explaining why cooking does things the way it does. And I have become less afraid of baking because of Alton and the way he explains the way that, fats and waters and acids and bases and things like that interact when you're baking, because all of that is much more important and unforgiving in baking than it is in most of cooking. Because, you've got salt, fat, acid, heat, or whatever that was in that Netflix series in cooking, but in baking, all of that has to come together chemically. It's chemistry to produce whatever it is you want it to make. And if you don't put them in the right quantities and the right way, then the chemistry is going to come out in a way that it was always going to do, but not in a way that you wanted it. If that makes sense. But yeah, he's a total dork. He's an absolute dork. Okay, back to the wheel. I don't know if I'm actually going to spin the wheel now because I'm already after 8. I appreciate you hanging out and spending some time with me, Rubinsky. So it's cold. It's gonna warm back up in a few days, but Halloween is gonna be cold. I am it makes me really happy to see that that I'm a delight. So, did you already talk about what you're making, Rubinsky, for food? You probably did, and I missed it. So you said you just landed. You're already home? Wow, that was actually honestly fast. Just pasta? Pasta is a simple, easy thing to make that I don't make very often because it is so simple and easy and full of carbs. Is the problem. Oh, you live 15 minutes from the airport. Oh, so you get plane sounds all day. Which is not really the end of the world. It's not the worst thing. I kind of like plane sounds. There's some kind of military airport. What direction is that? West of us. That no real plane sounds. Okay, so you're not directly in line with any of the, what are they called? Runways. There's some kind of, I think, a military airport strip, whatever, to the west of us. Planes are in the sky, but you don't live near the airport. 15 minutes is pretty near, although I guess depending on, they go vertical real fast, so I guess you have to be pretty close to get the sounds. Mobile passport control saved you 40 minutes. That's nice. That is good. I do appreciate having the TSA pre-check which we've only used, I think, twice since we got it, but it is definitely worth it. It's paid for itself, I guess. Or maybe it was only once. But it lasts 5 years. It's $85 per person for 5 years. 5 years. And you more or less skip like 80% of security. Yeah, PreCheck is very worth it. If you travel more than, or if you fly more than once a year, I would say. Why is global entry a waste? I don't know exactly what that is, actually. Let's find out. It's for U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Trusted Traveler Program. PreCheck for returning to the U.S. No processing lines, no paperwork. Expedited entry. Major airports, reduced wait times. How is that a waste? It's yearly and expensive. Gotcha. It's not a 5-year thing. Oh, hey, PreCheck went down. It was 85, now it's only 78. Okay, so global entry is 100 a year? I mean, if you travel internationally more than twice a year, I would say, especially for work, that would probably be worth it. And you know what? I'd bump that up to 3. Bump that up to 3. Not worth it for the regular person, no. But like, if you come back into the U.S., okay, we'll call it 4. If you come back into the U.S. 4 times a year, I would say that would be worth it. Processing time 4 to 6 months. And why is the one from Canada over a year? Why? You need an in-person interview at the airport. With PreCheck, they have like, contractors basically, and you go to their site and you do an interview. You have to do it at the airport? That's a little odd, especially since this is the global, more expensive one. Why would that not be easier? That doesn't really make sense to me, although government doesn't often. Whatever, PreCheck is enough for me. I really wouldn't mind customs unless I traveled for work all the time. Brother got it with his card, like credit card? Which credit card? PreCheck is worth it. You fly like 3 times a year. That's the most we've ever flown. We haven't flown in a while. When was the last time we flew? I think it was to South Carolina to see a friend. A credit card. Chase something. Oh, we have a Chase credit card. I wonder whether that would be available with our particular card. It's probably the Sapphire. Spirit has cheap tickets to New York. You go visit cousins. $20 each. Well, you live 15 minutes from the airport. I have no idea what it would be like from Kansas City. Also, we live an hour from Kansas City, so we'd have to like park there. Yeah, Kansas City to yeah, we'll do Newark. Or I don't know, is LaGuardia cheaper? Oh, and you do odd times too. Yeah, you get dropped off. We don't know anybody who would be willing to do that for us. Or, we probably do, but I don't know anybody that would be willing to ask that of. Let's see. Holy shit, $77 at the beginning of November. You usually do Newark? Okay. That's what I'm looking at here. $77 at the beginning of November. Haven't seen anything less than that. Now, to be fair, there are probably a lot of people flying from Miami to New York and back versus Kansas City to New York. Because who the hell would need to go to Kansas City from New York or the other way around? Yeah, 77 is the cheapest I'm seeing. I don't know where you're getting your $20. Let's just for shiggles look at Miami to New York. Holy crap, $26. That's for real. That's less than an Uber. Or about the same as an Uber. Let's look at this. November 7th. Okay, so what? Do you have to have like a subscription for this? Savers Club? Okay. Wait, no, I clicked on Savers Club. Wait, what happened here? Go back. Hold on. Okay, I messed something up. Hold on a second. Yeah, MIA to EWR. Yes, give me that. And we're going to look at next. There we go, 26. And I clicked on
I'll take the booty. Where's the booty?
If you buy the ticket at the airport, you save $18 each way airport usage fee. What does that even mean? Okay, I click on the $26 one. And then it pops up this other thing for next Thursday. What happened? Oh, the return. Okay. The return is what I'm looking at here. Okay. I'm back the 11th for $26. Okay. So the Savers Club. $70 fee for the first year of membership to the Savers Club. Okay. And how much is it after that? $6 in parking. Still ridiculously cheap. That's less than $100 for a round trip. Depending on how long you're staying. Hydrate or dehydrate. Man. But yeah, the cheapest from Kansas City is 77. Excuse me. Okay. MCI to... Can I just leave it open? Like, just anywhere? How do I do that? How do I leave it open? Okay, let's go back to the homepage. Kansas City to whatever. See, it's making me pick an airport. Also, I would need 2 adults. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's making me pick an airport. Google Flights, not Spirit. Okay. MCI to wherever. 2 adults. Economy, sure. Explore. Flights only, and then how do I sort this? It's not helpful. $76 to Denver. Frontier can be cheap too. But you're basically packing a backpack. Yeah, but like, we don't have kids, so there's like no real good reason that we have to have a bunch of luggage. Denver is the cheapest I've seen so far. No, I was just... Change month to like April. We'll do March, just because it's easy to click there. I could probably get to April. Yeah, Kansas City is not like a bustling hub of travel. Huh. March is spring break. Miami is a major... Yeah, no. Like, if we lived in Texas or Georgia or Colorado or New York or, you know, Florida, that would be a much... Or California. That would be a much probably cheaper and more available thing. But Kansas City is hardly even a stopover anywhere. Stopovers in this part of the country are like Chicago, or Dallas, or Denver. Kansas City is more of a destination or origination, but not very big ones. $1,000 to go to Mexico. No, in roughly less than a month, less than 4 weeks, we're gonna have to drive almost 1,300 miles. Topeka to Havasu City. Yeah, like 19 hours at 1,257 miles from Topeka to Havasu. Yeah. And it's because we're going to visit family for my grandparents' what are they called? 80th and 85th birthdays. My grandma's was in July and my grandpa's is in December. And we're going to be doing that plus Thanksgiving at their youngest daughter's house, my aunt. And she lives in Havasu City. And like theoretically we could fly, but the closest place to fly is Vegas, which is still a 3-hour drive, 2 or 3 hour drive from their house. Yeah, 2.5 hours from Las Vegas to their house. We could also do what is this over here? Phoenix, just as far. So yeah, there's not really a point in flying because you can't get anywhere close. You could fly into, you know, LA or Ontario, which is 3 or 4 hours. There's just no good airports near there. So we're gonna make it multiple days, at least 2, maybe 3 on the way there, and then we're gonna push for 2 on the way back. Yeah, it should be interesting. At least we barely have to go through Texas. We don't have to drive through Texas for 16 hours of the 19-hour trip, you know? What is this route? Yeah, they're more or less equivalent. That's whether we want to go through Wichita or Dodge City, basically. Atlas Obscura for shit to do along the way. See, the thing is, Paige has limited, what's it called? Vacation that we can take. So like stopping for 20 minutes, a half hour, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, multiple times is going to make it a week-long trip. And we don't have time for that, unfortunately. Yeah, no. The plan is we're gonna leave Monday, get there either late Tuesday or early Wednesday, and then Thanksgiving is on Thursday, and then the party is on Saturday, and then we're gonna leave as early as we can Sunday. And then get back hopefully late Monday / early Tuesday. Yeah, I know it's rough. I know it is. It is, but you know, your grandparents only turn 80 and 85 once. So, and like, we double have to go because Paige's one surviving grandma turned 90 in August, and we went and saw them. Now that is only like 11 hours because they live in Kentucky. They live not Louisville, Lexington-ish. Yeah, have to go. Gotta go. Especially since we didn't go to Mississippi in July because we had to go to Kentucky in August. We just didn't want to do 2 long trips that close to each other. Yeah. Your grandparents passed last Tuesday was her anniversary of her death. Yeah. Paige's other grandma died not long after Christmas, but I can't remember, was it last year or the year before? We went to see her family in Kentucky, and she was in a care home at the time. And on our way out of town, I kind of insisted that, hey, we should probably go see your Nana one more time before we go. And both of us are very grateful that we did, because that was the last time we saw her, and it was the 2 of us, and we were happy to see her, and she was happy to see us. And yeah, I'm glad we did. So Paige's family lives in... How do you read this? This word here. This is a French word, right? Right? It's pronounced Versailles, right? No, not in the American South. This is Versailles, Kentucky. And there's Marseilles, Kentucky, to the south somewhere. Where is Marseilles? Or there's Marseilles Road anyway. Yeah. Versailles, Kentucky. And they have a castle. It's an event venue / not hotel, but like place to stay for like the couple getting married, basically. Louisville has weird pronunciations if you're from there. Yeah, no. I've been getting upset about Louisville recently because it's Louisville, right? Louisville. One of the next towns over is, where is it? Am I just not close enough? Well, okay, Jeffersonville, not Vol, not Jeffersonville, Jeffersonville. I don't know about Lowville. I've never heard it pronounced that way. I've only overheard Louisville from people who like lived there and grew up there is how I've learned it. But there's, Jeffersonville and Shelbyville and a couple of other villes around Louisville. But no, it's Louisville. Like, I was almost over the pronunciation of Versailles, and then I realized Louisville, Shelbyville, Jeffersonville. Your friend pronounces it Louisville and she's from there? My buddy Clay pronounces it Louisville and he's from there, and Paige's dad pronounces it Louisville and he's from there. So I don't know, man. I guess it depends on the person and maybe where in Louisville you grew up. All I know is I am never going to pronounce New Orleans as Nolans because I am not from there. I don't get to. I'm not allowed. I'm not going to call it New Orleans because I have spent 12 years in the South, but New Orleans is all I get. I'm not calling it Nolans because I'm not from there. Alex might be weird. You don't know any normal people from Louisville. Okay, my buddy from Louisville is he delivers gas. He's a truck driver, and he was previously a mechanic, and he has 7 or 8 piercings around his body because every time his dad says something racist or homophobic, he's like, "Fuck you, Dad, I'm gonna go get another piercing." That's Clay. But yeah, Shelby's dad, or not Shelby, Paige's dad is pretty normal, and he pronounces it Louisville. Hello, Eric. Good evening. What's up, buddy? What you been up to? What kind of art did you do today? We were just making fun of the way the Kentuckians pronounce things. Like Versailles and Louisville versus Jeffersonville or Shelbyville. As you should. Alex also has a ton of piercings, but not for that reason. She's just amazing. Clay's just... he's contrary, is what I'm going to call him. And he'd probably be proud to hear me say that. He's dating a girl who, and I'm not going to get into specifics here, but abortion, I believe, is some degree of illegal in Kentucky, so she helps women who need one. Did I hurt my wrist? Yes, I did. On Wednesday is chest day, and I don't know exactly when it happened. I didn't quite notice, but when I moved over to shoulders from chest, I realized that my wrist was hurting, and so I've worn this since then to keep it immobile and keep me from hurting it any further or preventing it from healing fast enough, and hopefully it'll be back to normal by Wednesday when I need to do it all over again, and hopefully have better control over the movement of my wrist and not get it hurt again. Asheville, and Seatonville, and Wilsonville, and Finchville, and Simpsonville. Those are all pronounced Ville, to my knowledge, by Kentuckians. But no, it's Louisville. Yeah. Oh, and she's also, the girl my buddy is dating is a very vocal proponent of unions for, like, UPS and USPS and FedEx. Well, no, not USPS. FedEx. Especially UPS, though. All of that. Hydrate or dihydrate. I'm going to drink a soda because I'm out of water. How has your weekend been, Eric? What you been up to? I was just talking about the reason we got onto Louisville and Versailles and everything is because I got onto, we're going to have to drive from Topeka all the way over to Lake Havasu, Arizona, which is right here. And that is almost 1,300 miles. It's like a 20-hour trip, 19 and change plus stops. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. And that's going to be right before Thanksgiving, the Monday before. Eric went swimming today. Cannonball? What? Oh, yes. Yeah, Eric, did you cannonball? Did anybody cannonball? Did your nephews cannonball? I want to hear about the cannonballs because high of 38 today, Eric. Eric jumped in. That's good. Good, good. Enjoy the pool for me while you still can. Need to cannonball the drive? How does that work? The water was too cold? I mean, like, you didn't die. You didn't freeze to death, so it's better than it would be here. Oh, my weather? Yes! Yes! Now, you used to have worse weather because you were in the mountains of Colorado. It was pretty, but still cold. Here, it's like dreary and ugly and cold. So at least in Colorado, you had nice views. Here, it's Kansas. Cannonball is a race from Manhattan to LA via drive. The record is under 25 hours. Yeah, not a thing. It was supposed to snow here overnight / this morning, but it went south of us. It just missed us. But yeah, no, lows in the 20s over the next couple of days. Not happy about it. Not enjoying. No bueno. Nietzsche Geet Ski Janai. The Cannonball Run was a thing? Yeah, no, I don't like road trips. I don't care to drive. I don't care for driving. Just because, like, all you can do is pay attention to the road, and it's boring and what's the word? Tedious and stressful and annoying. And people who like road trips are not the driver, is what I'm saying. Unless you're one of those really rare but really interesting people that I don't understand who will who think driving is cathartic. It's not for me. High of 84, low of 77. Yeah, I will gladly trade you Rubinsky. Rubinsky likes to drive. Death Race 5000. Was that a movie? I know Death Race is a movie. Oh, you were talking to King. Okay. You were ending your sentence with a question to King. The race was based on a movie. Okay. Yeah, I did not see Death Race. Closest I've come to Death Race is whatever that movie was with Gerard Butler, where he was a convict in this video game, quote unquote, but it was like actual convicts fighting, and they were piloted
Chasing the booty,
by
getting the booty.
gamers in VR. Death Race 2000, you think? Original movie came out in the 70s. Eric is that old. Eric loves his 70s and 80s B movies. What'd you draw today, Eric? Have you put it in Discord yet? Oh yeah, I was gonna look at whether our credit card had that global whatever it was thing. I don't really actually care. I don't see anything in content show off. There it is. I do see whatever that was. It looks like a lamia, but with like a dog face and horns and carrying a baby who is drinking a bottle of ketchup? Question mark? Okay, yeah, post what you drew this morning. Eric, never mind, I'm not going to say that. I don't need to talk about that. Okay. But yes, I will trade you weather, Rubinsky. I will trade you locations, honestly. I would, like, I don't have a burning desire to live in Miami, or near Miami, but it would be better than Topeka, Kansas. Yes, it would. Yeah. However, if Paige stays with the company she's working for currently, there's nowhere else to go. But right here is where their corporate headquarters is, and the research center where she works at the corporate level. The actual corporate headquarters, they're actually moving to Kansas City this month, next month, this coming month. She told me, and I can't remember. Yesterday's drawing is up. Okay. I see you tagged me. I dig that. The lady in the hat with the sunglasses. I dig that. That's cool. Your style with the markers, with the, you know, the positive and negative space, digging it. Retro? I'm not sure if I would call it retro. I guess you could apply that adjective to it. I would more call this noir. But your fantastical stuff with the black negative space is not noir. I don't know what I would call that. It's fairly unique in my experience, but this is quite noir. Good night, Rubinsky. I appreciate the compliment. Enjoy your rest after your travel back from St. Kitts. Man, that sounds like a good time. And have a good week. Don't tell Splatzap. Hey, Splatzap, if you're here, Rubinsky says I'm his favorite. No space. And that's actually the Chaos Kingdom Discord. I don't have my own Discord. Go to sleep, my guy. Third time's the charm. Your nephew bought you Diablo 4, so you've been playing that? Shoot. I was toying around with the idea of playing, what's it called? Doom Eternal. I believe it's the newest Doom one. And, but it's kind of dark for me. I wasn't in the mood really for like a gruesome shoot 'em up thing. I am fighting myself from just going and buying Starfield just because it's there, you know, and it's the new Bethesda game. Because I'm not sure I would actually like it, especially not for what's it called? $70. I don't know that I would get 70 hours of enjoyment out of it. I know there's at least that much content, if not 10 times that, but I don't know. Rubinsky, did you put that in Splats apps? If I hit it a curb, I don't hit it because I did. No, I didn't. That is a very Splats app bumper sticker. Yeah. So Eric, I didn't get to show this to you. I got the Harbinger rover, which is actually Curiosity. All right, Rubinsky. Oh my glob, this looks like freaking paradise. Look at this. In Chaos, that would be like probably selfies and show-offs is what I would guess. Yeah, right here. Yeah, I got the tag. There we go. This picture, I want this to be my daily life. Watashi no Nichiyobi. Oh, the second tag was to an earlier photo. Oh, let's glance at that. Oh. So is this the kind of tropical where it like thunderstorms every afternoon? Because I would love that too. There we go. Ads now, actually. Your nephew wants to game, so you're gonna jam. Peace out, Eric. Have fun playing with your nephew. No thunderstorms, it's just the rainy season. Gotcha. All right, Rubinsky, have a good night. Sleep well. Enjoy your week. I will see you Thursday for... Oh, yeah. I should probably look at that. What's coming up? Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch. I've already played, actually. Let me see if I can find that video on the YouTubes. There it is. Okay, so there's the VOD of Forged in Shadow Torch. So I'm not going to play that again. It wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. It was a nice Metroidvania style deal. I don't really have any complaints about it. It was a little like edgelord, I guess you could call it. But the other game is Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, which I've seen a little bit of from Ariel, which I will shout her out. She has a new handle.
Oh,
She
it's
has played
red.
this.
Spouting, splashing, soaking, innards, ingest, invoking, nailing never stops the choking. Oh no!
Run away! Ariel plays the scary games sometimes, but I do not. Yeah, no. So yeah, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. That's the game we're gonna play on Thursday. It's funky. You're gonna rip a lot of things. Or I'm gonna rip a lot of things. And spoilers, just warning you here. Spoilers, major spoilers for the game. Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Spoilers. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, don't listen. This is a post-apocalyptic. Veggies have evolved sentience after humans all died out / turned into zombies. Yeah. There's also lots of anime references and gaming and pop culture references. Yeah. It's a bunch of dorks. Corrupt political power. Yeah. The mayor turns himself into like a cyborg using all the tools that I helped him collect, because I am apparently indebted to the city / the mayor for accidentally committing tax evasion because of paperwork that was predatory. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we're going to play on Thursday. Tandem was nice, honestly. How do I describe it? It's a puzzle kind of platformer type thing, but not really platformer. From two perspectives, and the mechanic was really cool. My only complaint about it was that just the entire atmosphere was creepy, like Victorian clockwork creepy. I wasn't a huge fan of that. It wasn't scary. There weren't really jump scares. And it was more focused on the puzzles than the atmospherics, but it was creepy. So yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night there. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe, stay hydrated. Thank you for stopping by, Erilyn and Rubinsky, hanging out with me. You're a bro. I'm glad you had a nice trip to the Caribbean. Hydrate or dihydrate. Eric, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy your gaming session with your nephew. And everybody else, have a great night. Stay safe, stay hydrated. And don't have a great week, and don't do anything you don't want to explain to the paramedics. Finally got it out. Deuces.